Adi Oladipo in studio with Simon and myself this lunchtime. I mean, Adi, I know what Simon's saying. There's still a lot probably to clear up in the eyes of many doubters regards Conor Benn and what happened with him. But if the fight was to be made and people's doubts were to be allayed and put to one side eventually, I think it's the only one in town that people want to see.
Yeah, it's a massive fight. It will be the biggest fight over here in the year. It'll be one of the biggest fights in the world. I mean, there's been some big fights this year, but I think it will top quite a lot of those. It was a fight that was supposed to happen at the O2 Arena. And as you say, it's now become bigger.
Because of notoriety.
Yeah, because of negativity.
Notoriety.
Because of that. Because of Eubank Jr.'s sort of comeback win against Liam Smith, it's a fight that
because
could
of the
do a
legacy of
stadium.
their two fathers whose names they're trading on.
It's huge. And both of them sell it. Both of them sell it quite well. I spoke to Conor Benn after the fight, and he says he wants to go straight in December. Eubank knows it's a fight that pays him more than any other fight out there. And as much as we like to think these fighters want world titles, they want money more than world titles.
Sure.
So, look, for Conor, it makes a lot of money.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
But let's have that said.
Now, Simon, as we always do, we want to hear from fight fans and the people in the know out there. Mike's an Evertonian who's a big fight fan. Mike, Eubank Jr. Benn, would you watch it?
Not for a minute. No.
Not for a minute. Why?
No. It's not a fight. It's nothing. No disrespect to either of them. They don't have credentials to be elite level boxers. They don't have careers to be elite level boxers. If you want to charge me money like you did at the weekend to watch a fight, I didn't watch that. What's the point? What are you fighting for?
I mean, Mike, I'm looking at messages coming in. John says Simon's bang on about Benn Eubank fight. Look what happened to Kell Brook against Golovkin. I was at that one, very one-sided. You're just not having it. You wouldn't entertain it.
No, I think the boxing boards are control and the sport in general. There's thousands of kids out there trying to make a living out of boxing, an honest living, and these guys are pinching the big money. Maybe the boards need to invest in the younger lads, the lads trying to come through, the boxing clubs. If these guys want to fight for money, go out to Saudi, sort it out yourselves, and whoever wants to watch it can watch it. I have no interest in it.
Okay. How is Chris Eubank pinching money?
How's he pinching money? Who is he?
He's fighting. He's fighting. Is he not had the fights? He might have lost some, but you can't say he's pinching money when he's fought for world titles. Yes, he's lost them, but he's fought for a world title.
What's he fighting for now?
Money. Every single fighter's fighting for money. What do you think they're fighting for?
I know they're fighting for money, mate. I'm not stupid, but what I'm saying is, I have no interest in him fighting his dad's arch nemesis's son. It doesn't mean anything.
You're just not having it. Understood, Mike. I get it. Adam, I'm coming your way. Cara, an interesting message from Cara. Jim, Simon, Addy. Actually, Cara called you Sugar Ray. Jordan. I only want Conor to fight when he has fully cleared his name. Eubank should not fight him until that moment comes, until that happens. And I think a lot of people think that. Cara's not alone in that.
No, she's not. And I fully understand that as well. And if you're Eubank, you want to make sure that everything is fine on that side either. You don't want to feel like you're stepping in the ring with someone that might have question marks surrounding them. So I think that's we all feel that way.
They're going to have trouble anyway, irrespective of whether the Conor Benn's got an American license. So I'm not entirely sure the British Boxing Board of Control will let him fight in this country. So it's going to have to be overseas.
Adam's a big Arsenal fan. Eubank Jr. Benn. You heard from Ben. Adam, would you have the fight? Would you watch it?
I will be excited all day watching all the press conferences, excited to see what happens, how these things end. Attention is currency nowadays, I believe, Jim. And it seems like that a lot of these fights, they only seem to get big money because people have an interest in them. I could go and fight someone from down the road, and I'm pretty sure no one would pay me $42 million.
Attention is currency. I mean, Adam, I like that. Adam, what do you think of some of the flack that Eubank Jr. comes in for still?
I understand, of course, it's the same rod that has boosted him is also the same rod that is on his back. So, in my belief, I think in the same rod that the Eubank name, and as Simon Jordan said himself in the interview with Eubank, how it's almost put a little bit of pressure on him, but it also has generated that intrigue. There's certain names now, such as Beckham in football, where immediately people are going to be drawn attention to. Now, that therefore puts additional pressure on those fighters. But as I said, attention is currency. And for me, same as this Francis Ngannou fight, very much looking forward to it, which I know is a unique view. And this Eubank's upcoming fights, yes, I'd have preferred world title fights with Simon Jordan and yourselves on that one. However, if you can take a fight that you're a little bit more confident with and get paid a lot of money for, plus, again, take away this charlatan tag over time, then if it's up to me, that's exactly what I would be doing.
Adam, really good call.
To be really honest, if we all asked ourselves, that's everything we'd all be doing as well.
Adam, I like that. Thank you. Addy, I think Adam's right. Attention is money. All the focus would be on that fight, Simon. Even you would be caught up in it in the build-up to Eubank Jr. Ben, no?
Well, I would be caught up in it because I'm sitting in a media station that would be covering it to some extent, but I wouldn't be caught up emotionally invested in a particular. This is a 147 fighter fighting a 168 fighter, and the only intrigue is because it's got two legacy names, their fathers, and now it's got this awful notoriety around it. Oh, chapeau for boxing. What a wonderful look that is.
Come on. You got excited for Can Brook, and many said that was 10 years too late.
It was big. There you go.
There you go. That's a good point. They were both world title holders or former world title holders.
Many moons before that fight.
That's fine.
But you still get up for that.
Yeah, but for the point of view of watching the fight and then being impressed by the fight itself, I had some interest.
You were there
in it.
ringside, irritating me.
But I don't have any interest in this particular fight. I didn't have any interest when it was made. I certainly don't have any interest as a result of all the notoriety. And if it gets made, which certain people would like to do, without things being cleared up, then why would anybody want to? You're giving validation to it. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Okay. I'm many things, but I'm not a hypocrite. I don't give validation.
It will grow in him, Simon. Yeah, it will grow in him. It will.
I'll sit there after all the things I've said with my stupid gurning mug on the side of the ringside. I don't think so.
Addy, ringside, seats 8, 9 and 10. He's 9 in between you and I.